What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to share my NYCC Funko haul. The figures did arrive the other day. I'm very happy to have these figures now in hand. So I'm going to run through them and I will be unboxing all of the figures in this video. The first one here is one that I originally was not going to go for, but the more I looked at it, I thought it was unique enough and interesting enough to go ahead and add it to my collection. So we have here from Demon Slayer, the Spider Demon Father. Now there are other characters from the series, at least one other character I know of that's associated with this character that does have a pop, but I'm not going to worry about that. I think it's actually a moment that they created. I feel like there might be a standalone as well as part of this Spider family, but I'm not 100% sure. It's still been a good while since I watched the first season of Demon Slayer. I keep saying I want to go back and check it out. Maybe I'll get to it eventually, but again, I just thought this was a pretty unique looking pop. It didn't end up being super popular. It's still listed on Funko.com right now, but that doesn't matter to me. Just wanted to have it in my collection. Again, I will be opening this up and taking a closer look, and I'm really interested to see a closer look at the details on this particular figure. And my Demon Slayer collection is not a huge collection, but I'm pretty happy with the figures that I do have from that series. Next up here is one that a lot of people were disappointed to see as part of NYCC, and I do understand it. I feel like Funko could kind of mix things up more as far as DC is concerned. But we do have here the Batman Who Laughs. I did decide to add it to my collection. Now, you know, some people did point out, you know, he already has a pop, but he's not like one of these characters that has a bunch of different pops. Unless I'm mistaken, I think he's only had this other one previously, the PX Preview exclusive one. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. And I feel like, you know, there's a soda as well. The soda did have a chase. I was trying to remember if the pop had a chase. I can't remember for sure. But I don't feel like, you know, this is a character that's like hugely represented by Funko. And I always say, you know, when they do a new variant of a character, you know, you got to think about new collectors, people that may not have gotten the previous pop, didn't have that opportunity. So, you know, Funko's kind of looking out for them in that way as well. But yeah, I do think this one looks different enough, you know, to kind of justify it. Also, you know, the design is not exactly the same. Yeah, so I'm happy with this, and I actually do have a shelf that is mostly devoted to the Batman Who Laughs, so I will be adding this pop there and this one as well. This had been somewhere else in my collection, but I'm going to put it on that Batman Who Laughs shelf. And I'm actually trying to reorganize a lot of my collection right now, including my DC figures. And yeah, I'm like, you know, a lot of other people. I would like to see more from Funko DC related, but I'm going to be patient. I just think there's more on the way. And they actually have done some obscure characters, and then they didn't sell especially well. I just feel like, you know, if you're going to demand it from Funko, when they do those figures, you got to support them. So they've done some interesting characters like Dead Man Spectre, Death from Sandman, and so on. And speaking of Sandman, I did get the Sandman pop as well, the Dream pop, and that is one that I was really looking forward to with this convention. I think it's really well designed. Been looking forward to getting a closer look at that actual base there. And I do have the common figure of Dream here as well. Now this one, I won't lie, only reason I ordered this one online is I was really hoping for the chase, which they unfortunately do not show here on the back. But the chase is really awesome because he's actually wearing his mask. So I'm probably just gonna have to buy that chase outright because I really want it in my collection. And then this, you know, the New York Comic-Con figure is just so much better than this common figure here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually keep this common figure long term. I may just keep this one here from New York Comic-Con and then go for that chase variant as well. So yeah, you know, I'm just gonna set that aside for now. It'll stay here for right now, but I don't think it's gonna last long in my collection. Keeping it moving here, this figure, it surprised me how popular it ended up being, but maybe I shouldn't have been surprised because even though this is an older movie, it seems like the popularity is actually increasing. So we have here Coraline with the dowsing rod, and I saw this in the movie theaters last year, and then they put it back in the theater this year. I went and saw it again this year, and it was been so popular and done so well in the movie theaters that they're actually putting it back again in the theaters. So, you know, check your local listings if you're interested in actually getting a look at Coraline on the big screen. But yeah, I really feel like the popularity of this movie is actually increasing. Now, comparing it with Nightmare Before Christmas, that was put in theaters recently. I didn't see as big of a, you know, fan reaction to that. A lot of people rushing out to check it out. Really, I feel like I saw larger audiences with Coraline. Maybe that's just me though, but in terms of merchandising, Coraline I don't think is going to catch up to Nightmare Before Christmas. But as far as the actual movies are concerned, it seems like Coraline is actually the more popular right now. You know, maybe I'm wrong on that. You know, it's not like I can quantify that necessarily, but let me know your thoughts on that. Like I said, it really seems like the fandom is just growing with Coraline, and I understand it because it is a great movie. I'm glad that they did this particular figure here as well. It is a nice reference, and I hope they continue to do more with Coraline. I still would like to see some variants of Wybie, but we'll see what happens with that. Oh, and I do have Coraline and Tunnel. I don't have Spink and Forcible yet. I've not caught up to that 2-pack yet, but I wouldn't mind having that in the collection. All right, next here is an item that I thought was going to sell out, but it's actually still listed on Funko.com. Like I said, Coraline sold out. That caught me by surprise. These other ones here, I think those are still available as well, but this Bitty Pop set, I really thought was going to be hugely popular. You see, it's limited 4,000 pieces, but last time I checked, it's actually still listed on Funko.com. The previous Bitty Pop set they did like this with Freddy Funko, Proto, and Franny. That one actually did sell out. But yeah, this one I thought, you know, the Halloween looks, I thought they were so cool looking. I figured it would sell out, but nope. Like I said, it's still listed. Now, of course, with Funko.com, once it does sell out, no guarantee of a restock, but I like these figures here. I am going to actually leave these in the packaging, though. I almost thought about actually, since it's still listed, going ahead and getting another one and taking those out of the packaging, but I'm just going to stick with this one here for right now. And yeah, I like the look of them here. Of course, we have Freddy Funko. There's the ghost. We got Franny as the Bride of Frankenstein. We got another Freddy here, of course, as like the merman design. And I think there's actually another name for that character. I mean, other than Creature from the Black Lagoon, I think there actually still is another name for that character. If you know it, you can share it in the comments. And then, of course, we have here Proto as Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster, if you want to be picky about that. But again, I really like this set. I just thought it was going to be a bigger hit with this convention. All right, you all, and then one more figure that I have here, and I was glad that I was able to get this one. I was having trouble with my payment actually going through, so I was not going to be surprised at all if when I finally got my payment to go through that this figure was going to be gone. It did end up selling out, but I was lucky enough to grab it before it sold out. We actually have here the Headless Freddy figure, and this is one that, you know, with the way that it's positioned in the packaging, you know, in the box, I definitely want to get this out and get a closer look at it. Very glad I was able to get this one. Initially, I was saying that I, you know, was curious to see what this would look like full color, but the more I look at it, I do understand that ghostly coloring that they went for with this one. And I wouldn't be surprised if they reuse this mold at some point, because I could see them doing like a glow-in-the-dark version of this, maybe with, you know, green coloring or something like that. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Here on the back it says more frights and fun from your friends at Funko. So they got that alliteration going on there. Maybe that's intentional, but yeah, I do like the artwork here and everything. This is a pretty cool figure. Like I said, I'm so glad I was able to grab that one here. So yeah, other than the biddies, I'm going to leave the biddies in the packaging, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at all of these figures here. Again, it's been a good while since I've seen Demon Slayer Season 1, so maybe I'm wrong about this, but I thought that this particular character, the Spider Demon Father, was like a large character, so I feel like his pops should be taller. And I know, of course, Funko Pops are not nearly to scale with characters, and, you know, or with each other. You know, we've seen issues like with the Killer Clowns previously, but I just still feel like he should be a taller, you know, pop, basically, you know, to make it more imposing looking. And of course, I know Funko Pops can only get so imposing looking, but you get the gist of what I mean there. Still, though, it is a cool pop. I do like the design of it. The hair sculpts for anime figures especially tend to be very much on point, and he does look pretty vicious with all the teeth and the multiple eyes there, the wrinkling around the face. And he has this, I don't know if you would call these mandibles or what you would call those necessarily, but those are pretty vicious looking. They have a little bit of texture to them, and he's very much in an action stance. So all around, it is a cool looking figure. You can kind of see some like tattooing going on there on the skin as well a little bit. Yeah, so it's a cool figure overall. I just feel like it should be a bit taller though. And I mean, you see how short it looks next to these other figures here. And I think if I did the same thing with the Demon Slayer figures, if he was next to those, I think he would look shorter. But, you know, it's still a cool pop, though. So next up here, the Batman Who Laughs. Again, I do think the design of this one is different enough to justify having more than one. And again, like I said, you know, there are probably some new collectors that did not get that previous one. So I do like the aging effect here with the helmet that he has going on. I guess you would call this a helmet. So they did some nice aging effects with that. And, I like the spiky look going on there as well with this particular character. And, the mouth sculpt, of course, is different. You still see all the teeth, but it's more of a laughing position that they have the mouth in there. It's got the giant collar going on. I think the other one had that as well. I really don't want to take the other one out of box, but I'm going to put it right here. I want to kind of compare again. Yeah, both of them have the giant collar. I think this one is even larger, though. Of course, the armor that he's wearing, that's different there from the original suit, and him having, of course, Batman's cowl like that. I like that he's actually just straight up ripping through the cowl, not just holding it. That is pretty cool there. This one also has the red, the kind of red sharp nails there, whereas the other one did not have that going on. It's got the spiky boots there and everything. So the outfit is pretty different, other than the cape basically and that giant collar, like I said. And there actually is more detail to the face too with the sculpt. So yeah, I like this new Batman Who Laughs, and I do like that original one as well. And I think they're going to look pretty good with the other items that I do have in my collection. Once I get everything organized there, I'm not going to do like a full collection video. I think that'd be just way too much of a headache. I have way too much stuff and way too much stuff to organize. But little by little, I may share images here and there, maybe short video clips as I get things positioned the way that I would like them to be. Now, I was surprised as I was taking Dream out of the box. I thought that this sand part here at the bottom was going to actually be part of the sculpt to like form a base, but it seems like you could actually slide him out of this. I don't want to do that though. I do want to just leave him in that position there because I do like the look of that. I also thought that this had more of a I thought this was gonna have like glitter on the base or something to give it more of a Sandman type effect, but it doesn't actually look that way. It's still cool looking though. I definitely do like still the sand dripping down from his hand and from the bag there as well, which of course that bag is very important to his lore. And of course he's got the raven, I believe, sitting there, raven or crow. I think it's a crow actually. But somebody could correct me if I'm wrong about that. Sandman, I've read it a good while ago, and I did watch the majority of the Netflix series. I'm not sure if I watched the full season or not, but I definitely don't remember all the details right off the top of my head. But I do like the look of that there. It's actually nicely sculpted with all the feathers there and everything. And I feel like that's the particular character. Is this that talking bird from the show? Again, somebody could fill me in with that. He has a pretty nice hair sculpt as well. Kind of simple in a way, but, it's nicely detailed, especially when you compare it to older pops. So, again, I definitely like this one way over that common Dream that I have right now. Like I said, I definitely want that chase to go next to this Dream pop. And then Coraline with the dowsing rod. As soon as I saw this revealed, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to add this to my collection. Actually, even when it was rumored before it was revealed, I was like, yeah, if they do that one, I definitely want to add it to the collection. I think this character, the design of it just always stands out with the blue and the yellow going so well together. And of course, she has her other details there, like she has her red bag there with the is that a whale on there? I don't think I ever really paid attention to that before. She's got her boots there, of course, and the leggings and all that going on there. Okay, and this is a nice reference to the actual movie. And you do, even though, this is a Funko Pop, there's something about the way they put it together with the hair sculpt and everything. You do see a little bit of Leica style coming across through the figure, and I do appreciate that. They do have a new movie on the way next year. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Pretty much anything that Leica does, I am going to be interested in it from now on because they do great work. So very happy with this pop. I think the only other Coraline pop I have is the diamond variant of her in the yellow raincoat. I don't think I have the original common. I didn't get that chase. I would love to have that chase, her with the hat on. I think that's what the chase was, and maybe I'll track that one down eventually. And like I said, I have YB, I have Coraline and Tunnel, and I'll add some more Coraline things to my collection, especially if Funko produces some more, because I am a big fan of this movie. And I just feel like I think this movie speaks to adults maybe more so than Nightmare Before Christmas does. Of course, there's nostalgia with Nightmare Before Christmas, but when you talk about the actual story, I think there's more layers to Coraline, and maybe that's why it's becoming increasingly popular as people that came up with the movie continue to have that appreciation and spread the appreciation for that movie as well. And then we have here, of course, the Headless Freddy. Again, I felt very fortunate that I was able to grab hold of this figure here. And this is a great time to have a figure like this. Of course, Halloween fast approaching. Yeah, great detail there with the mouth, and how the teeth and the gums there are revealed through the hole in the cheek there. Kind of a classic zombie type touch. Very awesome there. He has the crown on the belt there. I like the sword. Got the little skulls there as well around his collar. Pretty cool details overall. So yeah, like I said, the color scheme for this has grown on me. It does make sense, you know, to have this ghostly appearance. Still would not be surprised if Funko eventually does this with another color scheme. But like I said, if they do, I hope they would do it as a glow-in-the-dark figure. And maybe I would try to go for that one too. But yeah, this is pretty awesome. Like I said, let me know if you were able to grab hold of this one, and just, you know, in general, what did you get yourself for New York Comic Con, or did you decide to pass this time around? You know, just let me know. And like I always tell you all, I'm always interested to know, what are you seeing in stores? I try to share that consistently over on my Instagram account, you know, let people see what I'm seeing in stores, so maybe you could check for it in your own area. Oh, by the way, you may have noticed back here, I did keep the Coraline box upside down and open, just so you can see that it does have the key there. They did that with the other boxes as well, I believe. I like when they do touches like that. But yeah, let me know what you've been seeing in stores. What have you added to your collection recently? Thank you all so much for taking the time to check this out, and I will talk to you all again real soon.